everyone! So my current project is dragging its heels a little, so I thought I would do one of those challengey things that is doing the rounds on sewing side of YouTube. So this is my Make 9 for 2022. I am hoping that all of these projects will, by the time 2023 rolls around, at least be most of the way finished. Like, if there's one or two that are, just need buttons and a little bit of work done, then that's fine. But I want to get these done for this year, if possible. So yeah, 9 projects, 2022. Let's see what happens. Okay, so for my first project, I am still working on my medieval petticoat. It's the one that's dragging its heels a little. I'm actually working on the mock-up right now, so that's taking a bit longer than I thought because I'm going to have to make another one. And yeah, I think once I've actually got that handled, it'll be quite quick to make because I've worked through all the problems, so I've worked out what I've got to do differently. So I'm hoping to get that done in time for next week's video. If you can see it on the mannequin, the fabric I'm using for the final version is going to be a really lovely dark burgundy, and it's definitely one that, I love this fabric. I bought it ages ago because I was wanting to make a walking skirt out of it, like an Edwardian Victorian style, but I think this is going to be a project that I actually use more, if that makes sense. Even though it's for LARP, it's a base layer that I can use for pretty much everything that has that kind of medieval silhouette. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, so Project Uno is a nice dark burgundy medieval petticoat, which I am going to be making from the Medieval Tailor's Assistant. All the links will be in the description. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this one, as long as I get finished. So for my second project, I am going to be making a Tudor, very early Tudor, more medieval really, dress to go over that petticoat, which is going to be made out of this lovely red and white satin fabric that I got off of eBay. It was a curtain, I think, originally, or someone had bought it to make curtains and ended up with too much, which, given this is 5 meters, it was a lot too much. Maybe they were doing an entire house or something and wanted everything to be matchy-matchy. But yeah, so this is another one which I'm going to be using the Medieval Tailor's Guide. Not Medieval Tailor's Guide, Medieval Tailor's Assistant. But I'm also going to be incorporating some techniques and things from the Tudor Tailor, which again, links in the description. And yeah, it's another one where I am going to be trying to keep it relatively straightforward, at least for now. There's a good chance the next year I might go a bit crazy with it, because the Foundations Revealed thing is next year, and I wouldn't mind turning this from a plainer garment into a bit of a fancier one for that. But for now, the plan for this second project is to make a medieval, slightly Tudor era overgown, and with the sleeves that come off and you can replace them, and I think that would be quite good because yeah, I can do some footed ones this year, and then next year I can go a bit crazy once I know what I'm doing. So yeah, that's number 2. For my third project, I am going to be working on the pattern by Opus L&I, which is the Lindenium hood pattern. There's a few people doing this on Instagram, so I think we're calling it the Lindenium hood sew along or something like that. Again, more links. But I really like this combo of this red wool, which will be the inside, and then this like very heavy rose fabric, which is going to be a really dramatic hood. But that's pretty good because I think the character is going to be pretty dramatic, so it all matches up quite nicely. I have been wanting to make a hood by this pattern rather, for ages, because I'm a big fan of Opus Eleni and it looks really warm and cozy. I am going to change it a little bit though, because I don't really like having like lots of things around my head. Like I'm always putting my hair up in a bun, because yeah, I don't really want to deal with like the lure pipe, which is the long thing at the back of the medieval hood that's kind of used to attach it in different ways. And I'm going to skip that because yeah, it's not my thing. It would drive me crazy. So yeah, yeah, I'm actually quite looking forward to this one. I bought this fabric a while ago, the rose fabric, and I wanted to see if I could make it into a dress, because I've got two remnants that are about a metre by a metre each, and I don't, like, no, not gonna happen. I could possibly make a skirt out of it, and maybe like a pinafore dress if I, you know, did just one like square in the front and then cross at the back. But I think honestly this would be more sensible, because I'm going to really love it. It's going to be really beautiful, and I'm not going to wear it so much that it's going to need to get washed a lot, and given that it's going to be wool on the inside and like this upholstery fabric on the outside, I don't really want to make it into something that I need to constantly be cleaning. So yeah, something that I'm going to love for a long time. And also, with it being a hood, I can use it for lots of accessories and lots of, as an accessory for lots of different costumes. And that seems a lot more sensible than making it into one thing that I will wear and then realise, oh crap, I can't actually wash this properly. So yeah, trying to be sensible. I've also probably got enough of this fabric that I can try and make some secondary sleeves. So for that red medieval dress, I can maybe make some for that, and then maybe even a pocket, so I can have like the full wardrobe sort of idea, which would be quite nice. Hope so. Anyway, it's another one where I really like it, it's beautiful, but I don't want to mess up because I can't get any more of this fabric. So yeah. Such is life when you're sewing on a budget. You kind of have to work with what you've got. But yeah, I really like this fabric. I really do. So yeah, project number 3, the Lindenium Medieval Hood by Opus Eleni. So for my next project, which is 4, I think, oh god, yes, 4, I've got this really lovely labyrinth woven fabric. So I'm going to use that to make 2 projects, but I'm only counting 1 for this. My first one is going to be pockets. Yes, more pockets. And I'm going to be using a black snail pattern from the 1790s. It's, at least the pattern itself isn't from the 1790s, but it's based on clothing that is for the 1790s era, because I have that for something else, and there's not really much point in going and getting an extra pattern just for pockets. So yeah, but this is a really nice fabric, and I bought it ages ago, and I've used it, well, some of it, for Ariadne, Regency Ariadne costume that I made a little Spencer, a little jacket thing. And so I think what I might do this year is actually like remake that costume, because I really liked it. But I think even in the few months since I made it, I've actually improved. So I'd like to have another go, see if I can get it to fit a bit better and look nicer, and maybe look a bit more Regency than kind of just, yeah, it wasn't great. But I think that's probably hindsight saying that, because I was really proud of it on the night and people said very nice things. So yeah, that's my next project. Pockets, and possibly a level up to my Ariadne costume. Project number 5. Ooh, yeah, can you see my hand? Yeah, 5. This is going to be for this year 2, or possibly year 3 actually, but it's my second turn at the 1790s event that I talked about a second ago. So this white fabric, I don't think you can really see in this, but it's got this really nice pattern. It's striped, but the way it's striped is that it's just the way that the fabric has been woven is a little different depending on which stripe you're looking at. So that's really nice, and it gives it a bit of it looks very Regency. Like, you could absolutely imagine someone wearing a fabric like this in a Regency period drama or something. So I saw it and I was like, yes, that's what I'm using it for. But pretty straightforward, really. I'm going to make a dress for the 1810 black snail pattern. Again, links. And I'm going to make it a day dress, but I think I'm going to try being the operative word, to make it with removable sleeves, which I know my history of sleeves is not great. That might be pushing myself a bit far, but I'd quite like to have it so that I can have it for both the daytime and ballroom, so when I eventually get to go to this LARP again, I don't need to worry about getting completely changed in the evening. I can just whip my sleeves off and put on a fancy shawl or something and be all ready for evening stuff. But yeah, I like this fabric a lot again. I tend to buy fabrics, then work out what I'm going to make them into. And it's really nice and soft, so I'm looking forward to having this as a dress. I've got 6 meters of it, which should be more than enough for a dress. So I'm hoping that if there's anything left over, I can make it into a shirt for me, like normal wear, because it is just such a nice soft fabric that I think it'd be really nice to have something a bit kind of blousey to wear about. And yeah, looking forward to that one. But not much to say aside from that. It's Black Snail 1810 day dress project, possibly with me doing something stupid to the sleeves to make them come off. But yeah, on to the next one. Now this is project number 6, I think. If not, there will be a number here saying what it actually is. And I got this fabric by accident. I was supposed to be getting something else, but they sent me this because they'd run out of the first thing. And it was a bit weird to get it because I had originally tried to buy a soft and fluffy wool, or faux wool, to line a cloak with. And instead I got this, which I'm not sure how well you can tell, but it is a cream and peppermint boucle with gold thread running through it. And that is really hard to make into a historical outfit, but I'm going to try my best. So I got this Simplicity pattern, which is a 1940s reprint, and it's the 8242 pattern. And yeah, it's really nice, and I want to have a go at doing some tailoring maybe, though I might go completely wrong with it, and who knows. It's a really nice pattern. I love it to pieces. I particularly like the skirt, actually. The jacket I like on other people. I don't know how well it would work on me. And I'm not a massive fan of cuffs that go down to like here. Like, I'd rather the full length of my arm or short. So I might have a go at it and then add some extra length to the sleeves just to make it work a bit better for me. But one of the things I want to do with this is that there is a sewing challenge that's starting soon, or at least it's ending in May. I think it's starting next month. And it's going to be a World War II challenge where you're challenged to use the rationing rules of the UK to make an outfit. And the thing is, this outfit clearly isn't made with rationing in mind. There's a big overlap in the front, and there are 16 buttons on the jacket. So, oh, and also the cuffs are like overlapping, which you're not allowed to do. So that's an excuse for getting around having to do these cuffs maybe. But I'm looking forward to it. I think that's what I'm going to do for that. If nothing else, I'll do this skirt, and then I'll have a nice skirt and maybe we'll do the American Duchess cape over the top, and that'll be nice, kind of swooshy style. Also not good for the 1940s rationing, but I can be fancy sometimes, I suppose. Yeah, I really like this pattern, really like the fabric, even though I wasn't meant to be getting it. It is a bit dodgy because it's the weave isn't most solid. So I've actually got another piece of it that's got like lots of bits that have kind of come loose already, and so I'm gonna have to do that thing where you kind of pattern it, or you put your pattern on it, and then like have to draw around where all the dodgy bits are to skip them. So hopefully that'll work out all the same, but I'm quite looking forward to it. I don't really have a lot of work wear, like proper formal workwear in my wardrobe because I work from home. So not much point in getting into a suit for home stuff. But yeah, I really like it. Hope it works out. Hope I don't make a mess of it. It's got a few things I need to buy first though. I've got some zippers and things, but I'm going to need apparently shoulder pads, which might be another thing I skip because I don't know, I'm not really a shoulder pad person, but that might be stupid because it's probably very important for this silhouette, and I know that the silhouettes are important in historical garments. So yeah, I'll make it properly the first time then. Maybe the second time I'll just, if I ever do it again, I'll cut the sleeves different and yeah, mess with the shoulders a bit. But yeah, fingers crossed that'll be what my project at this point of the Make 9 list will be. Can't remember what number I'm up to, so yeah, whatever number, this is it. See you in a bit. Project number 7, I'm fairly certain. So I'm going back in time a little bit because what I need to make is a another shift basically, but this time for Renaissance, so it'll be the big sleeves this time, and I think that'll be easier because I'm not good at sleeves, but if you're doing a Renaissance era shift, you don't have to be very good because they're just giant floofy clouds. So as long as your gathering stitch is relatively even and you can sew reasonably securely, I think you can be okay. Maybe I should have started with this one instead of my more fitted version, but you know, you learn things all the time. But yeah, so I found a lot of patterns for this one, but the one I've been recommended by a lot of people is the festive attire pattern from their blog, so I'm going to use that one. Hopefully it works, hopefully it looks good. It's one of those things that it's an undergarment, so if I mess up a little bit it'll be okay, but if I mess up too much then it will set everything looking a bit weird. So you know, only small mistakes. Let's hope for that for this one. So yeah, that's number 7. Renaissance shift. So for my 8th project, which will be the penultimate project, I am going to be making a dress for me because yeah, I realised I kept making things, or at least I kept intending to make things for LARPs, and you know, out of LARP I would also like some nice clothes. So I found this really nice blue fabric online and I picked it up, and it's quite slinky, but not like in a velvety way. It's like it just falls very nicely. So I'm gonna make a summer dress out of that, and I've got plenty of that, so I should be able to make you know, one kind of more dramatic dress and then maybe a skater style dress that I can pull on pretty easily. So that's still only one project though, because I don't know if I'm going to do the second project. It just depends on whether I have the fabric left over. But for the pattern, I have this Vogue Easy Option pattern, which, as you can see, is very dramatic and uses a lot of fabric. So I might end up using all of it on this. It is, like all patterns should give an idea of how much fabric you'll use, and this pattern is very definitely designed for someone who is very tall, if the model on the front is any indication. She is wearing very high heels and looks like she's a tall lady. So I am probably not going to use quite as much as they think I should use. But yeah, it's Vogue V9328 pattern, yeah. So I'm going to have a go with that. There's a couple of different versions of the sleeve you can do. One's more dolman, while the other two are kind of fitted sleeves with a different option for the cuff. One which is more ruffled, one which is more fitted. And I think I'll probably end up doing the fitted one because I like that better, and I'm not a big fan of dolman sleeves, and ruffles tend to annoy me because I'm quite a practical person, I guess. So I'm happy having ruffles where you know, they're not getting in the way, but on cuffs and things they're a bit annoying to me. So yeah, I'm going to be making this. I wanted to make this before summer comes because I want to be able to wear it around. But it is entirely possible this one will end up being very late in the year because I've got everything else to get through first. But yeah, I really like it. I'm going to have fun with this, I think. It's supposed to be an easy pattern, so I should be able to do it. Hopefully this is not the point where everyone in the comments goes, oh yeah, Vogue Easy is actually like super hard, so don't believe that, that's horrible. Oh no, you're going to do so badly. But yeah, I don't know, fingers crossed. I don't want to mess up because it is really nice fabric and it looks like a really fun pattern to wear, even if I only do it as a knee length on me, which will be, you know, like 2 feet shorter than on the very tall model. But I'm really looking forward to this one. This one is going to be, I think, the only thing that I'm definitely planning on making for myself, as in real me. So I want to do it well. I don't want to make a mess of things. It's also, there's a good chance it's going to end up being one of those things that goes through the wash 100 times because I wear it as often as I can get away with. So I'm going to have to really get good at making seams and things that are super sturdy. But yeah, that's 8th project. Next one's last one. Let's see what it is. Project 9 is going to be the most technical, I think. So last year I bought a massive roll of synthetic whalebone. In fact, here it is. Yep, way too much for one person. But I bought it and I would quite like to use some of it. So I'm going to have a go at making some Regency short stays. They open in the front and the back, so they're easier to get in and out of when you're, you know, in a tent on a LARP field. And I'm hoping that I can get that done at some point this year. I'm not pushing myself too hard for this one. One, because my Regency event is in October, so, you know, I've got time. But secondly, it's really technical and I want to learn as much as I can first. So, you know, let me make a mess out of a few other things before I start making a mess out of this one. There's also a Bridgerton sew-along event that is happening during the early part of this year, kind of to coincide with the new season coming out. And I'd quite like to do it around then, but honestly, I have so much stuff that I have to do first that it might end up getting pushed behind. But I am definitely going to be looking forward to seeing all the other people doing stuff and then maybe learning from their mistakes. So yeah, Regency short stays are one of those things that everyone on YouTube seems to have a go at making, and they all seem to do really well. But I think I'm a bit more of a beginner than a lot of people on YouTube for sewing stuff, so let's hope I don't make a mess of it. But yeah, I think this should work out. I've got a pattern from Etsy from Corsets by Caroline, and yeah, it looks relatively simple. Like, there aren't that many different parts, hopefully. And yeah, I'm going for the short stays version because it's easier and it takes less sewing. And it opens back and front, so I can get in and out of it much more easily than if it was like the full kind of wooden busk one with like going down to your hips kind of idea, because yeah, can you imagine having to get in and out of that in a tent that isn't entirely as tall as you are? And also you have to dodge, you know, all your boots and things. So yeah, don't want to try doing that. That sounds like a recipe for tripping while holding on to something, so you end up like ripping off a sleeve. But yeah, don't want to mess up things on the day of. Beforehand you can fix, but on the day of things you are a bit screwed if you tear something. So yeah, I want to be clever about this. But yeah, fingers crossed for this one. I'm a bit intimidated, to be honest. If you have any tips, leave them in the comments. But yeah, and now on to outro, Kirsty. So yeah, I think that's the 9 things I really want to get done this year, plus a few extras and, you know, bits and bobs for finishing up some of the fabric. Yeah, like and comment and subscribe and all that jazz. I want to get things done this year, partly because I want to actually wear things to LARPs, and you know, it's cheaper to make things than to buy stuff online, because quite often you see like very plain shifts going for like 90 quid, and I do not have the money for that. Like, yeah, no, not happening. So making all of my stuff myself, if I can, is a budget thing, but also a pride thing, because I can sew, I can do this thing, I just haven't before, so I want to try. But yeah, fingers crossed this all turns out okay. You'll see over the course of the year if it doesn't. Subscribe at least if you want to see me make a mess of at least one of these things. I might, next thing is with these make 9 for 2022 videos, you can do a postscript video like a year later to say what you got done, and I might do that, and I might talk about what I completely just failed at, which is always entertaining on YouTube, because you know, you learn more from other people's failures than their triumphs sometimes, I think. So hopefully I can teach you how not to mess up as much as I do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to 2022. Hopefully it'll be better than the past 2 years. And if nothing else, I hope I make a lot more stuff that I can actually wear to things. Because, yeah, that would be nice. And I want to be proud of myself for making things and being it. I really want someone to come up to me and say, wow, that's a really nice dress. Where did you buy it? And then for me to be able to turn around and go, thanks, I made it. Here's the pattern I used. Why don't you have a go? And yeah, be really, really just, that would be so good if I could. So that is my goal for this year, to make enough stuff so that there are good odds that at some point during the year someone says, wow, that's really good, where did you get it? And I can brag a bit. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. See you next time. Lots of things to do. I should probably go do some of them, like the pattern that I was supposed to be finishing this week. That didn't end up happening. Oops. See you next week.